As always, I need that weekly dose of baby steps, and one of my personal favorite sports anime of all time. Baby Steps, once again, does not disappoint. Nah, it never disappoints. I don't know why I would be disappointed. Baby Steps never fucking disappoints. It can have a slow-ass episode, and it's still fucking hype. This episode is hype incarnate. Straight up, Achan versus Ide. It is amazing. It just... Baby Steps. I love sitting down every fucking Saturday morning just to watch this series because it's just so good. It's so fucking good. It saddens my heart so bad to know that so many do not watch this series, even though it's so fucking good. Baby Steps is just so good that this episode is another brilliant example of why Baby Steps is so fucking great. Just seeing the tension in this episode with Achan going up against Ide, and they're going at each other, going after, set after set, or 2 sets technically, and just seeing how it was going down with after each round with, hitting back the ball. Intense episode. I mean, I really don't even know who the fuck is gonna win, because anything can happen. Baby Steps throws those curveballs. It really does. I mean, Baby Steps is always throwing those curveballs, and you really can't guess what is going to go down. And as I've said many times in the past, I would actually like to see Achan lose this because it would add some form of different type of character development for him, but we'll have to see where that goes. That's just me theory crafting, but to see how Ide is putting up such a fucking amazing fight against Achan in this week's episode, it makes you hanging like, who is going to win this? Because right now, Achan is experiencing pressure. As we already found out, this is the first time Achan has been in somewhat of a pro match, because there's a crowd, and when you become a pro, you'll be playing in a big stadium with a large crowd cheering you on and the opponent on, and that is what is going on. So Achan is kind of like in his first official pro-type match, and to see this, you gotta understand that Achan is under a lot of pressure, because if you were to have all these people, like, let's just say a good 50 people, or even 50 to 20 people cheering for your opponent, let's say, like I was up against you, Chibis, and everybody was cheering for me, you would feel that pressure. You would get swept up in that pressure, and you're like, holy shit, I mean, everybody's cheering on him, nobody's cheering on me, and you get self-conscious about that, and then the pressure just crushes you to the ground, and that's what's going on with Achan. I mean, even though he's trying to block out this pressure from what's going on with Ide, it's still affecting him in a subconscious level. And so you have to wonder, how does someone overcome this type of pressure? But I mean, pro players have to deal with this constantly, so you have to wonder, how is Achan going to overcome this? Because he needs to get used to this before he can even go pro, because to go pro means you would have to get used to this type of pressure. And so this is a major learning experience for Achan right off the bat, just for that segment alone. But I like how Baby Steps adds in the psychological warfare aspects of its series, because normally you don't really expect stuff like this, because I mean, we come to find out one of the main reasons why Ide is doing so well, which shocked me, it fucking blew my mind when we found out why Ide is just doing so damn well. I thought it was just because, he's getting cheered on, he was getting, hyped up because, I mean, he's getting cheered on. That's what I thought it was about. But when we got the explanation on why he's doing so well after being cheered on, my mind exploded, because I did not expect that type of realistic analysis on why Ide is doing so good. We come to find out, the reason why Ide is doing so good while people are cheering for him is because the chemical in your brain, I forget the exact pronunciation, it's like, dopamine or whatever it's called, but regardless of, the exact wording, because my mind is derping right now, I'm very fucking tired, please forgive me on that. It's a chemical that excretes out of your brain when you get very excited and you have this pleasure, and in the act of this, it makes it to where you don't really feel fatigue, and you can get addicted to this type of chemical if it excretes out of your brain constantly. And it's like Ide got addicted to this. When people are cheering for him, this chemical excretes out of his brain to where he gets this, rush. He gets this fucking adrenaline rush. And it makes it to where he's able to play so well that he doesn't have to worry about fatigue. And as I said in my last review, I sensed where maybe Ide was going to lose because of fatigue, because, I mean, he ran to the hospital, ran back, and I thought, he was going to run out of energy or get exhausted because of this, but after getting this introduced with this, realistic element, then that's completely shoved off the table. So, right now, Baby Steps just used a realistic element I don't think majority of us expected at all in this series. So, props for Baby Steps for being fucking amazing, as always. So, how do you all feel about this week's episode of Baby Steps? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.